Welcome to Creative Pages with Catherine. I'm Catherine, and it's time for the next sketch with me featuring our Coastal Shore collection. This means I'll be putting together both a page as well as a card, and it's going to be a fun one today. I love this collection. It just puts together some really beautiful pages, and the card's going to be a fun one as well today. Are you ready to work from page 59 in our 101 Scrapbooking Ideas and Sketchbook? I hope so. I will link the original blog post if you don't have the book. It'll be in the description box below this video, where you can find all kinds of great information as well. I will give you fair warning, I am not good at following all the sketches, but I do use them for inspiration. So let's go ahead and see what I've come up with this time. Here it is, page 59 in our sketchbook. I always list what mats and other papers I use, just so that way if you want to take a screenshot, you can, to get a general idea of what I've done, but I will also explain it all as we go along. For the base of both sides of this paper, I'm going to use the wood tone paper. It's the one that has the aqua tiles on the back side of it. And we'll go ahead and start on the left side of our paper. Now, I pulled out also, I did use some of our mats, but I also pulled out the paper that has the seashells on the back. I think I actually was inspired a little bit by the virtual crop that I just put together the sketches for. I just really liked this kind of sky effect that was on the back side of it. So this was all from one piece of paper that I used for both sides of the page, and I'm going to talk to you about how I cut it, because I used one piece of paper. So first things first, what I did was I cut it at 6 inches, so you can see where, half the page is going to go on our left side, half the page is going to go on our right side of the page. I've got the other pieces here. And then what I did was I took 1/4 of an inch off from each edge. So around the entire edge, the 12-inch edges of the paper, the 6 inch, because we're on a 6 by 12 now. I went ahead and took off 1/4 of an inch all the way around. And then I cut it at 1 3/4. So that's how I wound up with these two pieces. So I can't exactly give you the exact sizes of them, but I can tell you how I cut them. And it just works. So, and in fact, I think I'm putting these on backwards. Okay, but this is what worked for me. So this is what we are gonna do. Like I said, I was inspired by the sketch, and in our sketch, they did have what looked like, I think they used our scalloped blade on that one. But for me, I decided to go this route. We're using the colonial blade because we have it. And so that's what we're doing. You can use whatever blade you have for your trimmer. Getting out my regular tape runner. Let's get some tape going on these so we can place them down on our page here. And really with our tape runners, a little bit does go a long way. I'm just kind of putting some in between here to make sure it does stay down nicely for me. But you figure once you put your pages in your page protector, it's all good. It stays nicely in the album. So I am putting about 1/4 of an inch around my edges here as I'm looking at the paper. And about 1/4 of an inch on this side as well. And you can get out your 0 centering ruler or any ruler you have to measure. That's up to you. I am going to eyeball it today after my full of wonder layout. It's kind of nice to have another layout I can eyeball as I go along here. I have pulled out also our border sticker. So this one I actually need to wait on. I am going to pull through I have our capturing Capturing Memories, One Coastline at a Time mat here. That's going to come in from the left side here because, again, amazingly enough, I'm actually following the sketch a bit. And then I went ahead and cut our mats at 4¼ by 6¼ and by doing that, of course, you get the 4 mats off, but I have, mats with the buoys going vertically on the page as well. So we're going to be probably using those at a future vertical crop or something. But I did cut 2 sheets, both of the buoyed sheets from our paper pack. And so, of course, when you cut them from one sheet of paper, you get this little square out of the center. So I thought, you know what, let's use the square as a little decorative addition on our page. And whether you cover it with a photo or not is, well, I guess something to be seen. Let me angle this a little bit more up this way. And I just kind of wanted to get a feel for where my other mats were going to be. This is going to be over to the right a little bit more. It's been a little bit since I designed this one. And then we had the bulldozers working in our front yard almost the entire week. So I am filming over the weekend so I can edit and have some videos to put out on my channel for you all. Nobody ever said it was going to be easy to do YouTube, let me tell you. It's one of those things where you don't realize. I think sometimes YouTubers make it look easy, but I can assure you there's definitely some thought that goes into the videos that are presented there. Now we can go ahead and put our border sticker down. And yes, this border sticker will go a little bit above and a little bit below our piece here, but that's okay because I think it works and it just spoke to me with our, like I said, our colonial blade. And then as I saw this mat, the border sticker, it just, I don't know, sometimes it comes together for me in my mind, and this one just came together for me, and I just really, really enjoy working with this collection. It's going to be, I think, one of my favorites. So I am actually looking forward to using the other mats in another design coming up. You'll have to keep an eye out for it. When? I don't know. Stay tuned to my community tab because that's the best way for me to communicate with you all. And we've had a lot happening this spring, summer, and now into the fall. I think it's just going to continue. So I will keep going. I'll keep doing the virtual crops. I'll keep putting up the polls before the virtual crops, and I will keep putting out videos as I can. And I really want to do my next one in the What is an Album series, but we'll get there. That's coming. It's just on hiatus for a little bit. But anyways, here is the left side of our layout. What do y'all think? It's really kind of fun, isn't it? Let me show you the sketch again. Well, I'll wait. I'll bring in this other page. We'll get this one done, and then I will show you the sketch again. How's about that? Maybe a little teaser here. Okay, so here's my other 2 pieces of that blue paper. That kind of looks like the sky to me. I introduce the collections and I know the names of every paper, and then I go to work with it and I forget some of them, but hopefully you all have too. You don't necessarily expect me to remember all of them. Otherwise, I think that'd be too much for sure for anybody. Maybe the designers remember that design the collections, but otherwise there's a lot of collections out at any given time, and it is hard to remember all the names of every page that's been released. And that's one of the other things I like about Creative Memories. Y'all know I like options, and they definitely give us options, that's for sure. Okay, the other border sticker here, coming in closer to the left side because I realized that that's where that belonged, because we put it a little bit more to the right on the other side of the page. And then on this side, like I said, remember how I said I cut 2 of the sheets of the buoy paper. So I have another one of those squares. I've got 2 more of our horizontal buoy mats at 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. And I did pull one final mat to use for a journal box. It's the one that has the lighter blue tones on the bottom of it. Backside has similar tones, but the lines are going the opposite direction. And again, we're going to just go ahead and stick this behind a bit. Let me actually, because I kind of want to match it up. Oh, not bad. Okay. You know, eventually I'll be a scrapbooker. It's just so much fun. I don't know. I love these creative challenges. I don't know. I hope y'all enjoy watching me challenge myself creatively and come up with some different ideas. I hope that I do produce some unique content for you all and inspire you to put some pages together as well. I know sometimes I do some that are a little more intricate and some that are a little simpler, but I figure there's a little something there for everybody. You don't have to put together every layout I do, but you can if you want to. I guess that would be very interesting. And here we go. That's going to put the top. I'm just going to lightly put it for the right now. And then I want to, again, bring in my other page and just make sure this probably needs to go up a little bit. I can already tell. Because I think this is up a little bit higher as well. So this is why I try not to press down too hard when I go to put it down initially. So I have that leeway to move things around just a little bit. And then what did I do? I did this one a little bit closer to the top, and then I have about a 1/2 inch in between these 2 mats. Because this one is up just a little bit from the bottom on the other side. Here we go. Living dangerously here. All right, and then I have our lighthouse that is going to be in this lower right-hand corner. And I think I'm going to go ahead and just place it down here. Just rounds out this last color flow here. So I felt like that one felt pretty simple to me, but the effect of the finished pages is really nice. I really, really love the pops of the red through the pages. I like the blues. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what y'all think of this one. The little, like I said, you just kind of needed something a little red in this bottom corner because of the red in our capturing memories. And then this blue is being brought out by the anchor again. So our pages do have some symmetry to them within the color schemes, and our photos are going to pop nicely. So photo here. You can put a photo here. You can do a really small photo. You can do another horizontal photo as well up there. But on our sketch, they had it where they just had the 2 photos on that one. And so they had a little bit more journaling since this was from the older baby collection. But I always try to give you an option to add more photos if you want to your layouts. Okay, let's make a card. For our card, I pulled out one of our blank cards from our card kits. It is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, a standard A2 card. I also cut our plaid paper. I've used a gingham, the one that has the lighter seashell effect on the back of it. We used this one in the virtual crop for either July or August with one of my layouts there. And so I thought, it's a good opportunity to use the opposite side of the page on a card. Let me reinforce my edges because I have worked really hard all year to make sure I don't make floppy cards. By doing that, I use a little bit of repositionable tape around the edges to make sure that the edges stay put when people go to open their cards. And then I use the regular tape runner in the center to hold the paper onto the card front soundly. So using a little bit of gravity here. Oops, nope, you know what? Works. Okay, we are gonna do something a little different than what I was gonna do because I put the tape on and I wasn't supposed to. So this is a good opportunity for me to talk to y'all about, we're doing a shaker card. You might have noticed I had this little pocket here and I should have paid attention to it. If y'all saw my fishnet and Curious Crabs shorts that introduced those punches, as well as the book one. Is it the book one? I'm not sure. There was one I used the white shimmer. So this is the platinum shimmer, white shimmer, and the firecracker shimmer in here. And this little pocket is our Peekaboo pockets. So we have these 3x3 Peekaboo pockets. You can get them in a 10-pack. They're very affordable on my Creative Memories website. And they are perfect to do a shaker card out of. You can rub the inside with a dryer sheet if you want to try to create less friction. You can add like a little strip of paper, but you know, I don't mind that it's not going to have a ton of movement. You know, it's going to be what it's going to be. It's going to be okay. People are going to see the crabs. They're going to see the red. They're going to see the silver. I tried to kind of put them in so they would separate and there would be some on the top and some on the back. But it's basically where our crabs are kind of, there you go, caught in a little net. Now, the other thing I did was I took our darker seashell paper that had the blue on the back that we just used on our other page, and I cut a 2 3/4 inch square. What I'm going to do, I also cut another 2 3/4 inch square from our index sheet because we need to create a window to see our Peekaboo pocket in, and I wanted to have something different behind it. And you would think that you can layer the 2 shell papers and that would look pretty, but I just thought this is a little bit more striking with these 2. So it's up to you which side of the paper you want to use. Try to center your paper as you can use your zero centering ruler. Actually, I probably should. Let me do this. You can tell it's been a little bit since I designed this and now I'm filming. But I have 5.5 here, so let's go to 2 3/4, and my 2 3/4 piece is going to be 1 and what is that, 3/8? Yep, 1 3/8. So coming down, I wasn't too far off here. So let's rough out this line here. Whoops, that was there. And now that's going to be 2 1/8, and coming across from this one, it's going to be probably up a little bit. Let's see, here's my edge that I need to be at for where this right line needs to go. And then I had 1 3/8 coming across. So here, this is where it was, this is where it needs to be. There you go. Okay, so there's the center of my paper. I hope that made sense. I can do a short if anybody wasn't able to follow that, but I'm going to pull out my trimmer and you'll see what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to use my cut guides on my trimmer and I'm going to cut along this square. So then that way I know where my little background box is going to go, because remember I said we had a 3-inch Peekaboo pocket. And I have a 2 3/4 inch box I'm cutting out from it. So I'm using my, oops, sorry about that. I'm using my cut guides that come down from the top and the bottom of your trimmer to make sure I'm straight. And then I'm also using the line on the side of our housing for our blade, because our blade is a tension blade. You know exactly where it's going to press down by following this line on the side of your trimmer. So I've got my cut guide here. I know I'm cutting right along the line. I'm looking and lining up with where my white sheet is. stuff to my paper here to make my life easier. Looks like I've got a little tiny sliver from one of the edges. That's okay. Now we're going to line this up again, scoot it in a little bit. Let's see here. Where am I? Needs to go in just a hair bit more. And make sure I'm straight. Okay, side 3's going to get cut. And there we go. And then side 4's coming in. Here we go. I can feel the papers sticking to me a little bit, but that's okay. I am working with what I had. Try not to put your tape on first, like Catherine. It's okay. You know, sometimes, there we go. This must be the layout where I'm showing you mistakes not to make again. And that's okay too. We're all do that from time to time. It's not sticking at all to my trimmer. This is going to pop right out. Except for I missed a little part here, so I'm just going to grab my scissors. Like I said, paper crafting is fantastic because you can always grab your scissors and fix it. So let's put the trimmer away. And then we're going to cut up here to this upper line here. Just following our straight line. I have my scissors. There we go. So now I have a 2 3/4 inch piece of this to use for another time, and I'm just going to leave it stuck on my index sheet because I had added that extra piece of tape there. We are going to try to get this piece off my table, move that aside, and now we're going to line up our actual piece of paper that we want showing behind our pocket, our shaker. So you can see this is going to be behind here, and this is going to be, we're creating a window essentially to show our little shaker with the seashells this way. So let's line it up again. Let's see if we can get ourselves, well, you know what? Let's do this the easy way. We're just going to do this. We're going to gently, actually, I'm going to put this on upside down for a moment. We're going to place this down. Let me actually do this first. Put that, oh, no, because it's sticking to me because I have the tape on it, so don't put the tape on it. So I flipped it over. I've got my little box here going right into this place that we're creating. Now, with our Peekaboo pockets, how do you know where the tape is on them? You find the side that opens up for the pocket, and your tape is always going to be on the opposite side. It's hard because the tape is clear, so long as you know where your pocket is, you will always know where your adhesive strip to pull away is. Okay, so this is going to go down this direction. And I'm going to line it up towards the bottom of the pocket. So you are going to see a tiny bit of the seam from the Peekaboo pocket. Not much, just a little bit. Go ahead and stick that down. And we can put just a little bit of tape here. What doesn't really matter if you tape down your pocket or not. Actually, I'm not going to, because they're not going to come out because we have our other piece of paper that we already had our adhesive on to stick down over it. So there you go. That is that. And we have our little shaker. Like I said, I don't mind that it's not going to shake too much. It's a little bit tight in the Peekaboo pocket because I put a lot of pieces in it, but I just think it's cute. You can definitely see the crabs. You can see the shells behind it. And it's just, you know, an inviting card. You're like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And so I have Celebrate the Good Times, which we are going to put in the corner. And I don't think I'm going to foam square it at all. I'm just going to go ahead and place it here. It's going to go over our Peekaboo pocket also just a little bit. And there you go. Your card is done. It's our shaker card. Hard to see on the camera anyways with the glare. Not necessarily the glare, but from the lights. But you can see everything moved in there. Everything's flowing. and it's going around. If somebody took the time to shake it and work with it, they can move those little crabs and celebrate your good times. Alrighty. What did y'all think of my little card with our seashells behind it? You know, you really could give this even for a birthday card to somebody that loves the ocean. Honestly, or just any kind of celebration. You just never know what somebody might be celebrating. So that's it for page 59 from our sketchbook. What did y'all think of this coastal shore sketch with me? Let me know in the comments. Leave me a thumbs up. Until next time.